Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 18 April 2024. It's 9 o'clock on a Thursday night. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and it is. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post those on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. Please give those a good read if you are new to this weekly sales event. Familiarity with those will make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. On that note, also in the description, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel, the first of which is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale, and it might be valuable to you to watch that in detail so you kind of know how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link is going to be pertinent to you if you're a collector interested in moving along some of your collection using this weekly sales vehicle. It's entitled FAQs for Consignors. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. This is a good time to send knives to be sharpened, by the way. Backlog is under 3 weeks. So I'll look forward to hearing from you on some of your dull cutlery. So in the all-important video description, you'll see those 3 links at the top. Then you'll see the terms of the sale in the middle and at the bottom. The reason you all came, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In that pricing column, you're going to see generally 2 prices. The one on the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The price on the right as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening for the first 3 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. And those will ship tomorrow, Friday the 19th, with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside of that first 3, not to worry. Your sharpened knife will ship in 2 to 3 weeks. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right-hand column, that means that particular item has been purchased, bought, and paid for by its new owner. So anything marked sold, all caps, exclamation point in the description, means there's no need to send an I'll take it or an inquiry because that knife is already gone. Okay, I think that's about it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we've got just 3 leftovers from last week. And here's the first one. This is from Purvis Knives. And the knife inside the box is the Primordial. Pretty slick looking pocket knife, I think. Kind of a dark stonewashed titanium frame, carbon fiber scales. I guess we'll call this a bolster lock. So you got 4 3/8 inches of closed length. Right hand tip up milled titanium pocket clip. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock. Opens with a large slot. It is on a ball bearing pivot. Gorgeous clip point blade in stonewashed M390. 3 7/16 inches in length. Completely open construction, just a very slim backspacer at the back. There is your lock engagement. It is rock solid. Smooth and hydraulic ball bearing action. Beautiful blade centering. Condition on this knife will be near mint to like new in box. They're out of stock currently online. Brand new. When they were available, you could buy them for $250 web retail. We ran this one last week at $200, didn't sell, dropped it to $180 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $165 like it is. $195 sharpened. Next day sharpening is available if you're one of the first 3. That's the Purvis Primordial. Next up, it's always interesting when W.R. Case & Sons gets involved in the modern folder market, we've got one here. It's the model 36550 Westline. Pretty interesting blade. Those handle scales are a black hard anodized aluminum that has been tumbled. I thought they could be paper micarta when I first looked at them, but they're not. Pocket clip is going to be deep carry tip up, ambidextrous. The blade opens with 2 thumb studs that are like large blur studs. And it is a spring-assisted knife. Interesting little spear point blade with a swedge and kind of a low saber flat grind. S35 VN is your blade steel. Blade length is 3 1/4. The handle is 4 9/16. It's a stainless steel liner lock knife that engages thusly. Lockup is rock solid. I like the little jimping in the forward finger choil. Really makes pinching that blade in a saber grip forward very comfortable and secure. 3 1/4 inches of blade. Rock solid lockup. Looks like it's on a ball bearing pivot. Blade centering will be dead. I guess I called it very close in my ad copy. Let's see. Would you call that dead or very close? Up to you. It is near mint to like new in the box. They're available brand new right now for $160 web retail at your favorite knife store online. We ran this last week for $115, didn't sell. Dropped it to $95 for the weekend. Let's go $85 this week and $110 with an ApostleP Edge on the Westline from Case. Next up, we have one watch in tonight's sale. It's got lots of stuff. It is a Seiko in a box that is a little bit worse for the wear. There is a manual inside and an inner box. And here's the hang tag telling us that this is from the Prospect series. It's the SBDC 057, which is a Pepsi Sumo. However, it's not wearing the Pepsi dial. There's the Pepsi dial that originally came on the watch. For some reason, the owner of this watch thought that black bezel would look better. We've both laughed about that and agreed it doesn't. It's got an orange pip, but the factory Pepsi bezel is right here with a fresh set of tape to put it on with. If you want to switch it back, guys, just turn it upside down in a bowl of lighter fluid. Works pretty good. It'll soften that adhesive. You can pop that bezel out of there and put the new one on, and you can put it on there so it lines up as this one does. So this is running the 6R15 automatic movement. I didn't wind this one before shooting today. I better do that. I can tell you from when we ran this last week, it runs about 13 seconds a day. Fast, sit and dial up. So it's probably pretty spot on as you're wearing it. You got 44 millimeter diameter case, 52.5 lug to lug, 13 thick, 20 millimeter lug width. The bracelet on this watch really is showing a little bit of wear. Just some desk diving rash. Case in pretty good shape. Some little hairlines in this area. Pretty squared away altogether. Of course, it's 200 meters water resistant. It is an ISO certified diver. Bezel is 120 click, unidirectional. Very nice action. We will call this one excellent in box. These are available right now at Shopping in Japan. It is a JDM watch if you get that SBDC 057 version. They're available at $634 at Shopping in Japan, brand new. We ran this one last week at $450, didn't sell, dropped it to 400s for the weekend. And then we threw in the Spyderco Persistence FRN, which you're still going to get with this watch. And you're going to get it all this week for $375. And then, of course, if you want me to sharpen the Persistence, which you don't need to, it's got a combo edge, add 20. But anyway, that is the Seiko SBDC 057 Sumo automatic dive watch. Probably the buy of the sale this week, I would say. Next up, we're on to the fresh stuff. The first one comes to us in a plastic tube. Demko knives. And the sticker says it's an AD 20.5 and S35 yen with black G10 and a clip point blade. I bet that's what we got. It is. Love that diamond mill pattern on the black G10. The clip that's installed is the lefty tip up. The right hand clip is in the box. And there's a bonus on this one. This knife has been reground by BMG, thin and hollow. The S35 yen blade is 3 1/8 inches long, 4 7/16 handle. You have the shark lock mechanism, which locks up rock solidly. The blade is on ball bearings. Very handy little pocket knife. If I didn't say it, the handle's 4 7/16. Perfect action, perfect lockup. Let's see. And the centering looks to be perfect as well. Condition will be near mint in box, only because of the regrind. These knives sell brand new at a web retail of $224 plus the regrind, guys. That was probably, what, another 50 or 60 bucks. We're offering this one for sale at $180, like it is $205 if you like it with my edge. That is the Demko AD 20.5 clip point, black G10, and a regrind. Next up, we have another Demko plastic tube. Inside this one, it says AD 20.5 slicer, 20 CV Ultem. I don't know why they call that a slicer. Why do they call that a slicer? Because it's clearly a clip point. Maybe we've got a wrong tube going on. So same dimensions. 3 1/8 inch blade, 4 7/16 handle. This is not 20 CV, so that is the wrong tube. It's S35 VN. Rock solid lockup on the shark lock mechanism. And there are some Ultem scales. Kind of a translucent colored resin, I guess. This does have the lefty clip installed. The right hand clip is in the tube. And it's wearing a polished edge, but if the camera will catch this, if you look at the apex, especially near the tip, although cosmetically that polish looks pretty good, he didn't get all the way to the apex. So you got 3 1/8 inches of blade, 4 7/16 inches of handle. Lockup is perfect, the action is perfect, and the centering is perfect. We're going to call this near mint in box. This Ultem version is out of stock currently. If you're looking for a new one, when they were available, they had a web retail of $199. We're going to offer this one at $160, like it is. $185 if you'd like it with an TheApostleP edge. That's the Demko AD 20.5 clip point in Ultem with an S35 VN blade. Next up, we have twins. We have twins. They are both from Steel Will, and they are both identical F25-31 mini Moduses. Each of them has a certificate of authenticity, and they're basically identical. That one's got a polished edge. And that one's got a polished edge. So let's see, I think they both center up perfectly. That one certainly does. And that one does as well. So let's just look at one of these. And they're going to be listed separately in your inventory as Steel Will F25-31 Mini Modus number 1 and number 2. And guys, it doesn't matter which one you get. Oh, one of them has a clip mounted for a lefty and one for a righty, but that's an easy switch. So here's what you got. 4 3/8 inches of closed length, black G10 scales, ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip, OD green G10 gear pattern backspacer, ball bearing flipper, kind of a modified sheep's foot blade in M390. Looks like that one's serial number 14. And that one's serial number 8. So we'll make the 8 number 1, and we'll make the 14 number 2. How about that? Or maybe I'll just put the serial number in the description to make it easy. Let's do that. There's your lockup. Everything perfect on both knives. Nice. So we're going to call both of them near mint inbox with polished edge. They are discontinued, out of stock, and unobtainium. I could find no current or recently sold listings on eBay for this model. So guys who have them are hanging on to them. But what they were probably, these are the Italian steel wheels in M390. They were probably, what, in the 130 to 150 range, brand new. Take your pick, 85 bucks. The Steel Will F25-31 Mini Modus, serial number 8 and number 14. Next up, man, we got a blast from the glorious past of Spyderco. This is, I guess, sort of the last production version of the Calypso. It's the Caly 3, probably the one they sold the most of. Midlock with boy dent, Seki City manufactured. Black G10 scales, ambidextrous tip-up deep carry wire clip, gorgeous leaf-shaped blade in VG10. Notice this knife has been used. Get some fine scratches in the blade face. It has been used and sharpened, and it's got a pretty nice polished edge, but I am going to give you a sharpened price in case you want it to be perfect, okay? 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle. Rock solid lockup. Just, you can muscle a little bit of vertical play, which is completely not an issue. And then blade centering is, what did I say? I said perfect, and it's doggone awful close. We're going to call it excellent, no box. These are discontinued and out of stock. I think Blade HQ still had an old price visible. They sold at $120 web retail or Spyderco map pricing. Now, since they're gone, used prices on eBay have crept up. Sold listings between $133 and $160. This one we're going to do at 90 bucks, shipped priority mail. $115 if you like it with my edge on it. That's the Caly 3 from Spyderco. No box, by the way. Next up, this actually might be the buy of the sale. From Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA Earth, we have a Paramilitary 2. Ever seen one of these before? Black G10. Blade, 3 7/16 inches. Handle, 4 13/16 inches. Compression lock. Works pretty nicely. Blade centering, dead on the money. Rock solid lockup. And I think This has a polished edge, and I'm looking at how it gets all the way back to the plunge grind, which very few people do when they sharpen these except me. So I think this might be my edge, and it's sticky sharp. Sticky sharp. We're going to call it near mint in box, only because the clip has some scratches. Some significant ones. They are there. Let's do on this one $120, shipped priority mail. Definitely no need to sharpen. Spyderco pair of 2, black and satin. Next up, I have another Spyderco. This one will come with no box. It is a pair of 3. And guys, I don't know if this is an original configuration or a Frankenblade, because I think it's a Frankenblade, because my seller calls these gray skinny scales. So I don't know if that's an aftermarket scale, but anyhow. It's wearing a satin finished Casey Lynch long deep carry titanium clip. Original clip will be in the baggie. You do not get a box with this knife. The blade, S45 VN. And let's see. It's been used and sharpened. It's got a little wonky spot at the tip, but it's a pretty decent polished edge. Just in case you didn't know, 2 7/8 inches of blade, 4 1/4 inches of handle. Very, very slight. You got to muscle in any play. You could probably tighten the pivot because it's super free swinging. Blade centering looks perfect. Condition on this, we'll say near mint in box. I'm sorry, near mint no box. Your price, $115 like it is, $145 with my edge. That's the Spyderco pair of 3, gray, S45. Next up, we have another Spyderco pair of 3, and it's going to come no box in a baggie with the original clip. This one has the Diamond Arc Forest Green scales. And I can't remember what blade those scales came with, or even if those are factory. I'm not quite sure. But inside, we have an S45 VN blade, 2 7/8 inches in length, 4 1/4 inches of handle. Rock solid lockup. Nice blade action. Beautiful centering. This is wearing a, what I would call that, a tumble polished Casey Lynch deep carry titanium clip. Has been used and sharpened. Again, that might be my edge, and it doesn't need any help at all. Yeah, very near mint, no box. Let's do 160 on this one. No need to sharpen. That'll be in your inventory. A Spyderco pair of 3, FG for Forest Green, Diamond Arc, and S45. Okay, next we got a very interesting item, guys. What am I calling this? I'm calling this the Spyderco pair of 3 Build a Knife Combo. So let's see, what all are we getting here? Okay. This is really, really, really interesting. So you're going to get a blade for a pair of 3. It is S45 VN. Appears to have the factory edge. Might have been touched up. You're going to get 1, 2 Casey Lynch, look like tumbled titanium deep carry clips, short. And you're going to get 1 set of black scales, plain G10. 1 set of black scales, milled G10. 1 set of forest green plain G10. And what you don't get are washers, hardware, bushing, but look at the versatility you're going to get if you've got one or two pair of threes laying around of mixing and matching, okay? So, how much is it, you say? Well, let's sell the whole shoot and match for $100 billion bajillion dollars. Actually, that's just $100 for that whole shoot and match. The Spyderco pair of three build a knife combo. How about that? Next up, we have one from Massdrop and Ferrum Forge. It is the Gent. It's one of those knives, if I were to ever own a Chinese knife, I might own one of these. Just a slick little Gent's folder. Beautiful black G10 scales. Very slightly crowned to reveal some of the grain of the G10. Looks like tumbled titanium liners. A very slim line, ambidextrous, deep carry, tip-up clip, ball bearing flipper, beautifully fine satin finished S35 VN blade, 2 15/16 inches in length, 3 15/16 handle. Your titanium liner lock engages thusly. Lockup is rock solid. The ball bearing pivot is beautiful, and the centering is as well. It has what I'm calling an okay polished edge. Been used a little bit since it was sharpened, so I am going to offer you a sharpened price. We'll say near mint in box. Now, right now the black G10 is out of stock. The blue G10 is in stock new for $120. This one we're going to sell at $95 this week. $120 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. Like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Gent. Next up, got one from Boker Plus. The knife inside is the Urban Trapper in Coco, model 01BO734. Here we go. Look at the Coco on that little beauty. Very slim, long knife. I guess we'll call that a titanium liner lock. The liners are awfully thick. Pocket clip is deep carry spring titanium. Open pillar construction. Ball bearing flipper designed by Brad Zinker. Beautiful horizontal satin VG10 blade. 3 7/16 inches in length. Handle is 4 1/4, so pretty efficient blade to handle ratio. Early lockup. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful ball bearing action. I noted the centering as perfect. Wearing a factory edge. Very slight edge wear. We'll call it near mint in box. Price of these brand new, and they are still being sold. $123 web retail. Let's do $85 on this one. $110 with an ApostleP edge. Boker Plus Urban Trapper and Coco. Next day sharpening is available, by the way. Next up, one that I can partially identify. It is from Half Face Blades. It doesn't appear on their website, and my seller did not know what they call it. So what are we going to call it? We're going to call it the Half Face Blades Titanium Framelock. That's what we're going to call it. Kind of a smallish one. Pretty cool hardware. Sort of radiused corner triangles at both standoffs and the pivot. What appears to be some very finely milled Red lava flow carbon fiber for an inlay. Not flush, by the way. It wasn't designed to be. So there's your business side of the titanium frame lock. It is a stainless steel lock face inserted frame lock. Milled titanium black coated arrow clip. Deployment. Ah, man. It's got a very firm detent, guys. Like maybe too firm. But it's on ball bearings. 2 13/16 inches of blade that appears to have been sharpened, and they did okay. 3 11/16 handle. Let's see if I can open that thing maybe with my left hand. Yeah, there we go. So it's got a good pop. There's your half-face blades maker's mark. There's your lock engagement. And the centering looks to be dead down the middle. We'll call it near mint in box, and I have no idea. How about $200, like it is $225 with an ApostleP edge? That's the half-face blades titanium frame lock. Next up, we have a relatively new model from ZT, and they would like us to experience it. The knife inside the box is the 0545. Interesting. Original. I think that means, I don't think they really call the model that, but it is an in-house design. And I will show you the maker's mark. Oh yeah, there's that blade. Magna cut. Check that little guy. Very slim. What was that, I don't know, that, what, 2022 skinny little Benchmade? What'd they call that? And nobody bought it because it was way too expensive. This kind of is ZT's answer to that for a lot less money. Very thin. I'm going to say like 3/8 of an inch thick. I'm guessing. Didn't measure it. Pocket clip. Very low profile. Deep carry tip up, and it is ambidextrous. And this is a knife, again, very firm detent. You want to stay clear of the lock bar when you're opening. There is that gorgeous kind of California clip Magna cut blade. Reminds me a lot of that little double detent slip joint knife. What was it, the Federalist, I think? A little broader. Super thin. I'm going to say, what, 80 thousandths thick? With a full flat grind. That should be an unbelievable slicer. 3 3/16 as your blade length, 4 3/8 handle. Standard ZT carbon fiber on the show side with a little bronze anodized pivot. There's the engagement on your steel inserted titanium frame lock. It is rock solid. You would expect nothing else from ZT. And blade centering is beautiful. I believe it's been sharpened, kind of touched up in maybe a little bit of a haphazard way. It's sharp, but could use some refinement. Better than factory. So we'll say near mint in box. These are currently available for a web retail of $272. Let's go $215 on this one. $245 with an ApostleP edge. The ZT0545. Next up, we got us a Spyderco, made in China. It's a Tenacious FRN. So yes, a Tenacious with a fiberglass reinforced nylon handle, volcano grip for texture, black 4-way pocket clip with the bug in white. Looks pretty cool. Black coated blade, you know what it is. It's 8CR13 MOV. Blade length is 3 3/8. The handle length is 4 3/8. Stainless steel liner lock. Locks up right where you want it. Action. Pretty much standard Tenacious. A little hydraulic. Centering's beautiful. We'll call it near mint in box. And again, this one's been user sharpened pretty nicely. We'll let's see, these are available brand new for $60 web retail. Let's do 35 on this one. 60 if you'd like it with my edge. That's the Spyderco Tenacious FRN. Next up, oh boys, look what we have here. Oh, it's a Winkler. It's made in USA. The model is the SD1. I think that means standard duty, is that right? And a sculpted maple. Oh. Okay, what's the coolest thing about a Winkler? In my mind, it's the sheath. It is a lined kydex. So it doesn't really pop because everything is so hydraulic. It's got some kind, almost like an Alcantara material inside, so they're very quiet. 2 clips on the sheath for belt carry, and it's so secure and so quiet. Okay, here's the knife. Blade steel is 80 CRV2. It is a carbon tool steel. The finish is black Caswell. This one appears to have been sharpened, and it's a pretty good edge. In fact, it's good enough that I'm not going to give you a sharpen price. Looks like there might be a little tape residue on it. Blade length is 3 3/8. Handle length is 3 3/4. Looks like black pins and a black lanyard tube and that gorgeous sculpted maple. And check out the file work where jimping would be on a lesser knife. Beautiful in the hand. We're going to call it near mint in box, sharpening noted. These are out of stock. When they were available, I think you could buy them for $315 web retail with this handle. Sold listings on eBay are right there between $295 and $311. How about $210 for this one? No need to sharpen on the Winkler SD1. Time to turn the page. It is indeed. Okay, next up, we have more Winkler. And this is going to be the SD2 with the black laminate handle, they call it. A lot of people might just call it G10 or canvas micarta. In fact, that's what we're going to call it. Comes in that same lined kydex sheath, just 1 clip on this one. Look at that little beauty. Black Caswell finished, 80 CRV2 blade, 3 1/4 inches long. The handle is 3 3/4. And yes, that's black canvas micarta. I think there's 1 pin, but the black pins hide so well. Huh, very interesting. There's a pin, and there's a pin. Okay, there are 2 pins in a tube. Yes. This one has not been resharpened. It does have that same file-worked spine in the area where you would want jimping. And guys, this is so good in the hand. Unbelievable. So it's like new in box. This one actually is in stock. I can't remember the website I found them on, but they're $295. This one, let's do at $200 like it is. $225 if you'd like it with my edge. And next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 3. The Winkler Knives SD2. And that, guys, brings us to the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. And it's in the fixed blade realm. And it's from Spyderco. I think I might have teased you guys about this yesterday. It is the Mule team in MagnaCut. And this actually comes scaled in diamond milled black G10. You know, somebody really needs to rub a little oil into that. They are raw. I will say this, the scales, I think, are factory. They are not hafted, so the blade tang is a little proud of the scale. So I think a little rounding off is in order, or you could just leave it like that. The blade, where is it? There it is. CPM MagnaCut. Blade length is 3 3/8. The handle's 4 7/16. Is it good in the hand? Well, I don't know. It's a Spyderco. Of course it's good in the hand. It's like new in the box. These are out of stock and sold listings on eBay, and none of these knives had the scale set, but they were between $192 and $395. Can you imagine somebody paid $400 for that? I'm not even going to ask you for $192 with scales. Let's do $140 like it is $170 with my edge. The Spyderco Mule Team Magna Cut with scales. You don't get a sheath, sorry. Next up. We got a Bark River. It is a Bravo 1 in CPM M4 with blaze orange G10 and black liners. Comes in that gorgeous military influenced by Force Recon black leather sheath, fire steel loop, cross strap, and this is so simple but so brilliant. The strap tucks under the corner of the belt loop, so you can extract and insert without cutting off your strap. It's been around forever, but sometimes we just got to mention it. This Bravo is a first production run in M4, and there is your blade steel designation. So what you got here? 4 1/4 inches of 3/16 thick CPM M4. There's your orange G10, and there are your black liners. The handle length is 4 7/8, and does it fit the hand well? I don't know. It does if Mike Stewart and Bob Loveless know anything. Yes. Now, my consignor did sharpen this, and he did maintain a convex profile. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but don't think it needs it. It is near mint in box. They're out of stock, of course. It would have had my estimate as to its web retail would have been, let's see, underneath the sticker, you can't really read it, but right here, it said $399.95, so it probably sold in the $325 range web retail. Okay. The M4 knives from Bark River are expensive because of the process to grind them. Let's do $250 like it is $280 with my edge, and again, doesn't probably need my edge. Next up, we have another Barky. This one is a Bravo 1 LT in crew wear and a green pine cone handle. Ooh. This one's got the brown Bravo sheath, again with the tuckable cross strap so you don't cut it. And here's the knife. This is a first production run Bravo 1 LT in CPM crew wear. So instead of having 3/16 stock, the LT has 5/32 stock. So instead of 187, it's 156 thick. Check out the green pine cone. I will caution you guys, don't think this is going to be a take it out in the woods and beat the crap out of it knife or deploy with it. The resin-filled pine cone scales are not exactly robust, but they sure are beautiful. 4 5/16 blade length, 4 13/16 handle. Again, this has been user sharpened convexly. It's pretty doggone nice. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but don't think it needs it. This would have sold brand new for high 200s. Oh no, it didn't either. I actually found this knife in stock in red at $360 web retail. We're going to offer this one at $210 like it is, $235 with my edge. Bark River Bravo 1 LT green pine cone and crew wear. Next up, we have our second and final one tonight from ZT. It is the ZT0308 in Coyote Tan and a 20 CV blade. However, the Coyote Tan scale is not installed because we have this gorgeous finely milled OD green, and I think I wrote linen micarta, but I think it's canvas. Anyhow, very cool knife. Beautifully milled titanium frame. It is wearing a deep carry titanium clip, and I don't know the maker. Is that MXG? I'm not sure. Looks like kind of a dark blast. Steel inserted titanium Framelock. This is just a superb knife. Opens beautifully. Kind of a harpoon drop point. Cool swedge. 20 CV blade. Not too thick. Very high grind. You got 3 3/4 inches of blade length. 5 1/4 inches of handle. It's just a lot of pocket knife. Not overly heavy. There's your lock engagement. It's perfect. Lockup is perfect. Ball bearing action is perfect. Look at that skinny tip, perfectly centered. Beautiful pocket knife. A lot of knife. We're going to call it near mint in box. Current web retail or ZT map pricing for this knife is $356 plus the cost of the scale. So well over $400 brand new. Let's do this one at $250 like it is. $280 if you'd like an ApostleP Edge. That's the ZT0308 plus custom scale. I'll never get that to sit right without falling. Anyway, next up, we got a beautiful Benchmade. It's the 275 FE-2 Adamas. You guys know that knife. OD green and crew wear. Comes in the unbelievably awesome sheath. I actually did insert the Molly attachment so you could see how that looks. Here's the knife. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shane Sibbert design. So OD green G10, all blackened hardware. Looks like it's all Parkerized. Super heavy axis lock mechanism. Deep carry tip up ambidextrous Parkerized clip. And there's your blade in tan Cerakote and CPM crew wear. It has a polished edge, and I'm not even going to give you a sharpened price. It's pretty darn good. I think he did it at 17 degrees per side. So it'll be about as slicey as an Adamas gets. Lock up rock solid. Action is beautiful. Centering is as well. We're going to call it near mint in box. Polished edge noted. So I think I found these in stock for $292 web retail. Benchmade map pricing. Let's go $230 on this one, and it's already got a way better than factory edge. No need to sharpen. Benchmade 275 FE-2 Adamas OD and crew wear. Yep. Next up we have another pretty cool Benchmade. This is a blue box knife. It is the 496 Vector. This is a fun knife. So let's see. We got OD green G10. 3D machine to reveal some beautiful grain. We got a Parkerized deep carry ambidextrous tip up clip. We have some dark gray hard anodized aluminum bolsters. Pretty cool pivot. Well, there's an axis lock and there's a flipper tab. How do you make that work? Well, you do it with a spring assist mechanism. It is an axis assist mechanism. It's a first production run knife. What does that say? I don't know. I can't read it. Something out of 1200. How about that blade? Nightmare ground. 3 5/8 inches of 20 CV. So we have a hollow here. We have a flat here. Nice transition. Looks like 1/8 stock. Handle length on the Vector is 4 13/16. Really, really, really nice in the hand. I mean, really nice. Blade play 0. Centering on the Vector. I called it perfect. I'll stick to that. Beautiful. It has been user sharpened, but I'm going to give you a sharpened price. It could be better. Pretty sharp, though. Let's see. Discontinued, not a stock now. When they're available, map price or web retail was $315. Let's go $210 on this one. $245 with my edge. The 496 Vector from Benchmade. Next up, we have a Spyderco, and it is a pair of 3 and K390, but I'm not sure this is the right box. It is a bento box exclusive in blue denim, but that model number is for a different handle material, so I'm not quite sure what's up with that. But there is your blue denim micarta. It is wearing a Casey Lynch deep carry clip. Action is beautiful. There's your K390 blade. Well maintained because there's very little K390 patina, if any. You guys know if you look at K390 cross-eyed, it will develop patina. So let's see, 2 7/8 blade, 4 1/4 handle, compression lock, phosphor bronze washers, and a thumb hole. Lock up rock solid. Blade centering on this one is beautiful. Condition very near mint in box, and looks like it's wearing a factory edge. Let's do $220 on this one, $250 with an ApostleP edge. Spyderco pair of 3 in denim and K390. Next up, one of at least 2 saved me from myself moments tonight. It is a Spyderco. It is not a paramilitary 2. So it comes in the wrong box, but look at this, guys. This is your fluted carbon fiber. Let's see if I can get the light to pick that very fine sunburst mill pattern. It's very hard to get. The blade steel is S90V. So on the native 5, you get 2 15/16 inches of blade, 4 inches of handle. You have a 4-way clip. You have the bushing pivot midlock from Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. You got a perfectly centered blade. You got rock solid lockup. This has been user sharpened lightly. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but it's pretty sharp. Now, you know, I called that centering very close in my head copy, and I'm going to stick to that. It does favor the right very slightly. We'll call it near mint in box. They're kind of long out of stock, but Arizona Custom Knives has one that they will be happy to sell you for $399. Or just buy this one for $220. Like it is, $245 with my edge. That's a Spider. I'm sorry. Whoa. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. They are available currently for $300 map. I was reading the wrong line. $300 map. Let's do $175 on this one. $175 on this one. $205 with an ApostleP edge. Native 5 fluted carbon fiber and S90V. Next up. Oh, boys. It's Mannix time. It is a Mannix 2 carbon fiber and crew wear, and it is a Spyderco Collector's Club knife 002V. There is your crew wear blade steel designation. There are your carbon fiber scales. This is wearing a tumbled Casey Lynch deep carry titanium clip. That'll be ambidextrous tip up. Blade swings freely. 3 7/16 inches of crew wear. Looks like a factory edge on this one. 4 11/16 inches of handle. Caged ball lock. Phosphor bronze washers. Centering is close. I could make that perfect. These are out of stock. I'm not sure you could buy the Collector's Club knives anywhere but from the Collector's Club. But Arizona does have one of these in stock. Not the Native 5, but this knife is in stock at Arizona Custom Knives for $3.99. This one can be yours. $2.20 like it is. $2.45 with an ApostleP edge. It's the Mannix 2 carbon fiber crew wear Collector's Club knife. That brings us from a serious to a serious save me from myself moment. Oh guys, I do not currently own a Mannix 2. That's what this is, and if you look at that model number, this started its life as a Blade HQ exclusive M4 and Jade G10 Mannix 2. There are your Jade G10 scales, which the knife is not wearing. There is your original ball cage in the black polymer. It's not wearing that either, because, oh guys, are you kidding me? That scale material is Peruvian walnut. Beautiful straight grained wood. It's just gorgeous. And the ball cage has been replaced with the titanium ball cage, which looks gorgeous. There's your blade in CPM M4. And it's wearing a polished edge that I didn't do, but it's beautiful. 3 7/16 blade, 4 11/16 handle. Lock up, rock solid. Woo, how about that? Blade centering is perfect. Oh, I called it very close. Let's see. Maybe I straightened it. That looks pretty doggone perfect to me. Anyway. That's just gorgeous. It's a thing of beauty. It is wearing a blasted Casey Lynch deep carry titanium pocket clip. I don't think I do not have the other clip in the box. Near mint in box scale swap noted. Discontinued, out of stock, a total unicorn. Your price $230, no need to sharpen. The Save Me From Myself knife tonight. Spyderco Mannix 2 Jade plus custom scales and M4. Next up, a blast from the recent Spyderco past. We got a little damage on the box. Who cares? It is a Gale Bradley 2. In this sharp dressed knives baggie, you have the original pocket clip and the original carbon fiber and G10 laminate scales, because this one is wearing some OD linen micarta scales, which look gorgeous, by the way, and a bronze anodized satin Casey Lynch deep carry clip. The original is in the box. The blade, CPM M4. And this is wearing a really nice polished edge. And note, the choil has been enhanced because the location of the termination of the factory choil sucks. And the lock bar has been shaved down just a little bit to keep it from being uncomfortable. You can still absolutely get to it. Action's beautiful. Centering is perfection. Lockup is solid. We have a little bit of that hazy M4 patina going on. Nothing serious. Lockup is rock solid. Action's beautiful. Centering is too. We'll call it near mint in box. Let's see, discontinued, not a stock, and you can buy this one for $160. Shipped priority mail, no need to sharpen. Spyderco Gale Bradley 2 Plus custom scales. Next up, we have another Spyderco. I've never seen one of these. Comes in that thing right there. So, I don't know, guys. I've spent a lot of time bagging on this designer from some of his ZT offerings, and this is a Dmitry Sinkovich design knife, and he kind of killed it. He really did. This is the Drunken, and I think it's called that because of the random looking weaving back and forth mill pattern. Guys, I can't even explain to you how cool that is in the light. I hope the camera is doing it justice. And it's on the carbon fiber too, but it's hard to see because of the weave pattern. The clip that's on this knife, and there is no factory clip, this is a Casey Lynch milled titanium, blue anodized, deep carry clip. That clip costs $90 if you want to buy one. The pivot is also the same blue anodized titanium. The blade, kind of like a Spidey chef, but a little slimmer. The blade steel is S90V. It is 3 7/16 inches in length. The handle is 4 5/8. It is a steel inserted. You can just see it peeking out there. Titanium frame lock. It locks up beautifully. Rock solid. Centering is dead. So cool. Phosphor bronze washers, by the way, and they're silky smooth. We're going to call this near mint in pouch. You want to buy a new one? It'll run you $577. $577, and it won't come with that clip. And the factory clip's kind of wonky looking. This one is $325, like it is $355 with my edge. The Spyderco Drunken. Next up, got a beauty from Giant Mouse. It is an Ace Grand Special Edition for Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They call it the Deadpool Edition. Gorgeous red G10 scales. Black hardware. Black backspacer. Is that titanium? I don't know. Clip is ambidextrous tip up deep carry wire. Ball bearing pivot. And an opening hole. Gorgeous black wash blade in Venetus steel. Harpoon clip point. 3 5/16 blade, 4 9/16 handle. Beautiful in the hand. There's your lockup on the stainless steel liner lock. Everything's perfect. Near mint to like new in box. Out of stock at $250 at Smoky Mountain. This one can be yours at $150 like it is $180 with my edge on that Venetus blade. That is the Giant Mouse Ace Grand Special Edition Deadpool from Smoky Mountain. Next up, we have one from Quiet Carry. Let's see, I don't know if there's any identifiers on the box that I know how to read, but I do know what the knife is. It is a Waypoint G10, a gorgeous powder blue G10. You got your 4-hole pattern, the Quiet Carry kind of trademark. Tip up, deep carry, ambidextrous wire clip. Same blue G10 for the backspacer. Really looks nice. Nice slim pocket knife in Vanex Super Clean. 3 1/4 inches of hollow ground. What do we call that? A reverse Tonto kind of? Stainless steel liner lock mechanism locks up there. 3¼ inches of blade, 4¼ inches of handle, rock solid lockup. Oh, by the way, it's on phosphor bronze washers with thumb studs. Yes. Beautiful. Centering going to be dead down the middle. And it's wearing a polished edge. A right sharp one, too. Yep. So, price of these knives, brand new web retail, $245. Let's go $140 on this one. Are you kidding me? No need to sharpen. The Quiet Carry Waypoint G10. Next up. Oh, these are so cool. We've had one of these on before. It is from Winterblade, and the model is the Factor, and this is batch 2 of the Factor. You're going to get a baggie with some goodies in it. And it looks like an extra pivot if you want it, and some magnets. Why would it have magnets? Because it just does. So it has what's called the magnetically driven lock. It kind of looks like an axis lock mechanism, but there are those rare earth magnets inside that pull it forward. No spring. And it has a very interesting opening mechanism. I'll show you in a minute. So you got a titanium show side. The back side is carbon fiber, and I believe you can make that the front side if you're a lefty, because the knife's totally ambidextrous. I think you can operate the lock. Yeah, you can. The clip appears like it will swap over. So how do you open it? You can either sweep it like that, and then look at that. Did you see that? That's pretty cool. Or you can use the flipper lever. And I think that's a tritium tube. I didn't check, but watch this. How about that? That's pretty cool stuff, I gotta say. Blade steel is M390, 2 7/8 long, 4¼ handle. Rock solid lockup. Perfect centering. Condition, near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $375 web retail. Let's go $200 on this one like it is, $230 with an ApostleP edge. Winterblade Factor, batch 2. Next up, a knife I know very little about, and I'm not even sure how you say that. Capital L, lowercase I, capital B, lowercase I, lowercase n, and a capital G, Libbing EDC. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows what goes on when the Chinese try to write English? So you get that little booklet. It tells you everything you want to know about the knife in Chinese. I do know the model is the Raptor. So we have titanium scales with carbon fiber inlays, a floating titanium backspacer, a clip that appears to have been stolen from a Chris Reeve tie lock. I don't think that's the factory clip. I do not know, though. I got a flipper tab, and I got a funky thumb disc thing, both of which will work. S90V blade, 3 7/8 inches long, 4 15/16 handle. It's a titanium liner lock. That is titanium. Why they didn't make it a frame lock, I don't know. Appears to be a ball bearing pivot. Beautiful blade centering. Nice flipping action, rock solid lockup. It's got a polished edge. I'm not going to touch it. It's really nice and sharp. It's near mint in box. I have no idea how much these cost brand new. Somewhere north of $200. We're going to do this one at $150 like it is. No need to sharpen. The Libbing Raptor carbon fiber and S90V. Next up, another one of those knives I'll never own because it's Chinese, but it's a cool knife. From Massdrop and Ray Laconico, we have the Keen. In that green gold anodized tumbled titanium. It is its steel inserted titanium frame lock, milled titanium right hand tip up clip, ball bearing flipper. Whoops. Come on now. Strong detent. Gorgeous spear point blade, S35VN. 3 3/8 blade, 4.5 handle. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful action. Perfect centering. Let's see if I can get you a good shot of that. Yep. Nice detent. We'll call it near mint in box. Has a polished edge. These are out of stock. Let's see that edge. Pretty nice edge. Yeah. One of these sold recently on eBay for $160. That's ridiculous. Let's do $85 shipped priority mail on the Massdrop Laconico Keen. And that brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. And it is from We Knife. It is the Vision R model 21031-2 with black titanium handle, black stonewash CPM 20 CV blade. And I believe the lock, at least, is a Snex design. What do we call it? The Snex Super Lock. So it's a ball bearing pivot knife. By the way, spine mounted tip up clip, so totally ambidextrous. So it kind of works like a lockback. If you look through this hole, you can kind of see it working. It's like a hybrid between a lockback and a shark lock. You pull back on the lock bar to release it. And I will caution you, if you pull back and up, the lock bar will come out. So don't do that. Just pull back. So you can open it with that slot. Or you could probably try to front flip it if you're any good at that, which I don't think you can. Anyhow, the blade is kind of a sheep's foot, 3 9/16 inches of 20 CV, 4 7/16 inches of handle. Bronze pivot hardware and standoff hardware. We'll say the action's perfect, the centering's perfect, the lockup's perfect. Near mint to like new in box. Web price for these brand new is $269. Let's go $140 on this one. $170 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Vision R from We Knife. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the ApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.